Welcome back to the Board Business Channel. Have you guys ever heard of value valves?
Probably not. Most people haven't.
I know, right? The name doesn't exactly scream exciting, but trust me.
Yeah, it's not like the next big tech company or anything.
But that's what makes it so interesting.
Yeah.
There's a perfect example of a company that's like quietly dominating this super niche market.
Niche is an understatement. We're talking about industrial valves here.
Valves, like the things that control the flow of, liquids and gases in factories and stuff.
Exactly.
Not exactly the most glamorous topic, I know.
But essential. Think about it. Without valves, a lot of the things we rely on every day just wouldn't exist.
Okay, true. Like what?
I mean, no gas for your car.
Oh, no.
No water flowing through your pipes. Even your favorite soda, like, it wouldn't make it from the factory to the store.
Okay, that got dark fast. But point taken, valves are important. And value valves, they're like the kings and queens of valves.
I'm intrigued. What makes them so special?
Well, they're a Taiwanese company that has gone global, supplying valves to some of the biggest industries in the world. Petroleum, steel, shipbuilding, you name it.
Wow, impressive.
But here's the kicker. They started as this tiny little company back in 1980, founded by this group of friends. They basically said, screw the fast-paced world of electronics. We're going to build a business we can eat for a lifetime.
That's pretty amazing.
Right.
Cool.
So I'm sure you can guess, nobody believed they could pull it off.
I was just thinking,
Everyone thought they were nuts to try and compete with, like, the big international brands.
it's a tough market.
But these guys had a plan. Instead of going head-to-head with the giants in, the domestic market, they decided to go international.
Smart. Go where the competition is less intense.
Exactly. They targeted the irrigation industry in the U.S. and Australia, where demand was high, and there was an opening for a quality valve supplier.
So they snuck in through the back door, built up their reputation, and then stormed the castle.
Boom. And then their big break came when this major Taiwanese company, Vermosa Plastics, stumbled across value valves while they were importing equipment from Australia.
Really?
And they were so impressed with the quality that they were like, we got to give these guys a shot.
So they got discovered overseas
Mm-hmm.
and then brought back home as heroes. Talk about a plot twist.
Right. It's like the classic underdog story. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Value valves, they didn't just settle for being a supplier. They were like, we're going to be problem solvers.
Problem solvers. Okay, what kind of problems?
So one of their clients, Nanya Plastics, was having a total nightmare with their valves. They were constantly breaking down.
Oh, no.
Even the ones that they were importing from Japan, like the wear and tear from their plastic pellet production was just brutal.
Wow, I can imagine. So did Value Valves just offer them like a standard valve off the shelf?
Girl, please.
Yeah.
Value valves is all about customization. They took the time to analyze Nanya's specific needs
Oh, wow.
and then designed a more durable valve just for them.
So basically like valve whispers. They listen to the problem and then create a custom solution. That's pretty impressive.
It's like going to a tailor for a custom-made suit versus just buying one off the rack. It just fits perfectly and it lasts longer.
Makes sense.
And that's how value valves built their reputation. It was like they weren't just selling valves, they were selling solutions.
Smart. I bet that approach won them some serious customer loyalty.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
They became known for their incredible after-sales service. We're not just talking about, answer emails and phone calls. These guys were going above and beyond.
Above and beyond. How far are we talking?
Like they'd travel to remote locations in China to help clients solve problems.
Really?
And get this, sometimes they were helping clients who hadn't even bought their valves yet.
Wow. Now that's dedication.
It's crazy, right?
They really understood that building trust was key.
Exactly. And that's how they managed to go from, this small startup to a company generating 1 billion NT dollars in revenue in their first 30 years.
That's impressive. But you said they doubled that in the past 10 years.
Yeah.
How'd they manage that kind of growth spurt?
Well, that's where things get really interesting. They implemented this whole systematic organizational management thing.
Okay.
And really, doubled down on their customer relationships.
Okay. But what does that mean? Give me the details.
Okay, gotcha. So basically, they invested heavily in training their staff. Even their sales assistants were given in-depth training on valves so they could provide top-notch service to every client.
Interesting. No more like one-size-fits-all customer service.
Exactly. And they also embraced this whole continuous learning thing. They partnered with universities to, stay on top of industry trends and cutting-edge research,
Rah.
which allowed them to tackle even the most challenging problems.
So give me an example.
Like, for instance, they helped desalination plants that were struggling with, seawater corrosion, by finding a solution using super duplex steel.
Super duplex steel. That sounds intense.
Doesn't it?
Mm.
It's crazy. So, are you ready for the craziest part?
Good.
One of their clients is, wait for it, TSMC.
No way. The world's leading semiconductor manufacturer.
I know, right?
That's a major endorsement.
It just shows, the level of trust and reputation they've built within these massive global industries.
So value valves is like the hidden gem of the industrial world. They're the ones behind the scenes, keeping things flowing and making sure the world keeps running smoothly.
You got it.
Okay.
And it all started with this group of friends and a dream to build a business they could eat for a lifetime.
That's a great story.
I know. Maybe we're getting a little too excited about valves here.
Maybe a little.
But you have to admit, it's a pretty incredible story.
It really is. And to think most people have never even heard of them.
Well, after this, they will.
It's funny, we've been talking about valves this whole time, but I bet most people couldn't even picture one.
Oh my gosh, you're so right. It's what even I ask a valve? I'm picturing, giant metal things. Are they tiny? What are we talking about here?
Okay, picture this.
Okay.
A pipe, right.
Yeah.
With a disc inside that rotates. Imagine a butterfly's wings opening and closing.
Okay. So when the wings are open, stuff flows through. And when they're closed, everything stops. Simple but effective. Kind of like my brain before coffee.
Exactly. But here's where it gets really interesting. Value valves, they don't just make, basic butterfly valve.
Oh, of course not.
They've mastered all these different variations. Single offset, double offset, triple offset. They have a whole butterfly valve family.
Okay, hold up. You lost me at offset. What's the difference? Do they have extra wings or something?
Not extra wings, but you're getting the idea. Think of it like this, a basic butterfly valve. It's great for simple on-off control, a light switch.
Gotcha.
But for more precise flow regulation or situations with super high pressure, crazy temperatures, you need something a little more sophisticated.
Okay.
That's where the double and triple offset designs come in.
So it's the more offsets, the more fancy and high-tech the valve.
Yes. Okay. And value valves has become known for their ability to design and manufacture these high-performance valves that can handle even the most demanding industrial environments.
Okay, that is impressive.
It is.
But you know what else is impressive?
What?
The fact that one of the founders, who's now the general manager, is a woman.
Yeah, that's pretty rare in this industry.
You're telling me. It's amazing. And she actually started as a sales assistant. Didn't even know much about valves at first.
Oh, way, really?
She went from sales assistant to general manager. That's like going from intern to CEO.
Talk about breaking glass ceilings. I bet being a woman in a male-dominated industry, that must have made her even tougher, having to prove herself twice as hard.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think she even said in an interview that she would often get underestimated, especially when dealing with clients. But she used that to her advantage.
Okay, how so?
It made clients, less guarded and more willing to open up about their problems, So she would just listen intently, really trying to understand their needs, and then swoop in with her knowledge and expertise and present them with solutions that they hadn't even considered.
Wow, that's brilliant. Turning a potential weakness into a superpower. Using empathy and listening skills to win clients over. Genius.
Right. And clearly it worked. She's now one of the most respected figures in the industry.
Inspiring.
It really is. One thing that really stood out to me about value valves was their customer service philosophy.
Yeah.
It's not just about fixing problems. It's they're partners with their clients.
Oh, for sure. It's they're not just selling valves, they're selling peace of mind, knowing that if anything goes wrong, value valves will have their back.
Exactly. But okay, paint me a picture. Give me an example.
Okay, so picture this. A client in China.
Okay.
They're having major issues with a valve they bought from a competitor. It's causing chaos, delays, costing them a fortune.
Oh, no.
Desperate, they call value valves. They haven't even bought from them before. They're just hoping for advice.
Well,
so what does value valves do?
What? They didn't just hang up on it, right?
No. They send a team of engineers all the way to China to help diagnose the problem, and they end up spending weeks working with the client, even bring in specialists from other companies to help find a solution.
Wait, they brought in the competition That is unheard of. Most companies would be like, sorry, not our problem. Good luck.
Right, but that's what makes value valves so unique. They're not afraid to collaborate and share their expertise.
Amazing.
They understand that helping their clients succeed, even if it means working with others, ultimately benefits everyone.
Like a rising tide lifts all boats. And, that approach has earned them serious respect in the industry.
Definitely. Clients know they can trust value valves to have their best interests at heart, even when things get tough.
Okay, I'm starting to really see why value valves is so successful. They have this, incredible combination of technical expertise, customer-centric approach, and a willingness to go above and beyond. But let's be real, it can't all be sunshine and roses. Every company faces challenges, right? Yeah.
Of course. And for value valves, I think one of the biggest challenges has been navigating the global marketplace.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
They're competing with companies from all over the world, each with their own strengths and strategies.
So how have they managed to stay ahead of the game?
Well, one of their key strategies has been to focus on niche markets, where they can showcase their expertise and customization capabilities.
So they're not trying to be everything to everyone. More like that specialty shop that only makes a few things, but they're amazing.
Yes, perfect analogy. And that's allowed them to build a loyal customer base that's willing to pay a premium, for the quality and service.
You get what you pay for. But focusing on niche markets, that seems kind of risky. What if those markets, dry up?
It is a calculated risk, but value valves seems to have this knack for identifying emerging trends.
Oh, okay.
And then positioning themselves in markets with long-term growth potential.
Like the valve trendsetters. Always one step ahead.
Exactly. They're always looking ahead, anticipating future needs, investing in research and development to stay at the forefront.
Okay, I'm officially impressed. They're like the fashion icons of the valve world. Always on the cutting edge.
And another challenge they've had to overcome is the constant pressure to innovate. The industrial world is constantly evolving with new technologies and demands.
So how do they keep up? Do they have a secret lab somewhere experimenting with crazy valve designs?
They might as well. They have a dedicated team of engineers who are constantly researching new materials, new designs, new manufacturing processes. They've even partnered with universities, really staying on the cutting edge.
Wow. So they're not just reacting to changes, they're actively shaping the future of the industry.
Right.
So what's next for value valves? What's on the horizon for these, valve visionaries?
Well, one area they're really focusing on is sustainability. They're developing valves that are more energy efficient, use fewer resources, and have a lower environmental impact.
Ooh, going green. Saving the planet, one valve at a time. Love it.
And they're also exploring new markets, looking for opportunities to expand their global reach. They've mentioned interest in the renewable energy sector, which is booming.
Makes sense. Get in on the ground floor of a growing industry.
Right. And another area they're investing in is automation. They're developing valves that can be controlled remotely, using sensors and software to optimize performance and reduce downtime.
So wait, the valves are becoming smarter, like AI-powered valves.
It's all part of this trend towards Industry 4.0.
Yeah.
Where everything is connected and data-driven.
Next level.
Value valves is right at the forefront of this.
Wow, it sounds like they're in a fantastic position for continued success. They have the technical expertise, the customer-centric approach, the forward-thinking mindset to really thrive.
Totally agree. It's a reminder that even in an industry like valves, which might not seem that glamorous at first, there's so much innovation and ingenuity happening.
And that sometimes the most interesting stories are about the companies we've never even heard of. The ones quietly making a real difference in the world.
Absolutely. And who knows, maybe one day we'll be talking about how value valves became a household name.
Wouldn't that be something? But hey, I think it's time to shift gears a bit. Wow, we really went deep on valves today.
We did. I feel like I could give a lecture on butterfly valves now.
Me too. But seriously, I'm so fascinated by value valves. Who knew they were this, hidden powerhouse?
I know, right? Such a great example of a company just quietly killing it in their field.
Totally. They're the ninjas of industrial equipment.
Oh, yeah.
They're just in the shadows, but they're making everything work.
Love that analogy. And they're not just, surviving. They're thriving. They're embracing automation, sustainability. It's amazing.
They have this, valve crystal ball, and they're predicting the future.
Yeah.
And they're like, hold my wrench. I'm going to make the perfect valve for that future.
Exactly. They're so strategic.
Okay, so out of everything we've learned about value valves, what surprised you the most?
That's a good question. For me, it was their dedication to customer service.
Yeah.
Like going all the way to China to help a client who wasn't even a customer yet.
That's crazy.
It's like they believe in their product so much that they're willing to help anyone, even if they haven't bought from them.
Total power move. It's like they're not just selling a product, they're selling peace of mind.
Exactly. They're building relationships, fostering trust, which is like the foundation for long-term success.
Okay, true.
Yeah.
But even the best companies face challenges, right?
Yeah.
What are some hurdles value valves might encounter in the future, you think?
Tough one. I think for any global company right now, it's navigating this whole geopolitical landscape.
Ugh, tell me about it. It's like a game of risk out there.
Exactly. So for value valves, I think one strategy they've mentioned is diversifying their manufacturing base.
Makes sense. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Right. And they're also investing heavily in automation and, smart manufacturing technologies.
Oh, interesting.
So they're basically like building a company that's flexible and adaptable, ready for anything.
Yeah. You got to be able to roll with the punches these days.
Totally. And they're also like not just focusing on being resilient, but also staying ahead of the curve when it comes to sustainability. As environmental regulations get stricter, companies are going to be looking for valves that are, more efficient and environmentally friendly.
Yeah, it's smart to be ahead of that.
And they're already developing solutions to meet those demands.
Awesome.
So they're in a great position to capitalize on this growing market.
It's really cool how they've managed to combine that commitment to sustainability with their drive for innovation and technology.
They're definitely a company that walks the walk, and I think that's a big part of what sets them apart. They're not just focused on profits, but, doing business in a way that benefits everyone.
Well, after learning all about value valves, I'm blown away. I can't believe how interesting valves are.
I know, right? We kind of stumbled upon this hidden gem.
They're the Beyonce of valves.
There you go.
And they prove that even in what seems like a really mundane industry, there can be so much innovation and creativity.
Totally. It all started with a group of friends and a dream to, build a business they could eat for a lifetime.
You know what? I think our friend Steve, the executive director of the Arizona-Taiwan office, would find this whole story pretty interesting.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
He's always, on the lookout for companies doing innovative things, especially in Taiwan.
Yeah, he'd love this story.
All right, well, folks, that's a wrap on our deep dive into the world of value valves. Turns out those little metal things are a lot more exciting than we thought.
They really are. Value Valves is definitely a company to watch. Who knows? Maybe they will be a household name one day.
Stranger things have happened. Anyways, thanks for joining us on the Board of Business channel. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications.